if you don't go into it for the love of it, that you eat and sleep and breathe it, then you're gonna fizzle out pretty fast. You ain't gonna last that long because the struggle gonna weed you out. But the love of it is what's gonna make you stay up and get better.
There is something special inside you.
Welcome to GNG Podcast with your host, speaker, best-selling author, Chaz Jackson.
Yo, what's going on, kings and queens? It's your boy Chaz Jackson coming back to you once again, representing GNG, Giftinagift. You know our motto on this show is we're all gifted differently to make a difference, and we have an amazing difference maker blessing us on this GNG episode. King LazRael is in the building. Summer House Pictures. Are you ready to get it, sir?
I'm ready to get it. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you so much for just blessing us with your presence, LazRael. And the audience is super eager to learn more about you. How did you get into the film world? Where did all that start from? Can you go back, share your story, the audience of how you got to where you are in 2022?
Well, yeah. So I've been into the arts since I was about 10 years old. Started writing stories and poetry and everything, like from as far back as I can remember, 13, 12. And, and then I went to the University of Arkansas at Fayetteville while I was going for football and things like that. And
what position did you play? What position?
Fullback.
Nice.
But it was always a dream of mine. I remember a year before I moved to LA, they asked me, they said, it was a time they was asking you about your goals and what would you like to do and what would you like to do here and there. And I said, I have a dream that, I would like to go to Hollywood. I would like to go and be in film, and do things like that. I didn't have no idea that how it was going to happen or if it would happen. It just felt like at that point in time, it was a dream or just something I was verbally saying, But then about a year and a half later, I was, naively and in Hollywood, and I just decided, I want to go. I want to go and pursue, what I always dreamed about. And of course, when I got here, it wasn't the bed of roses that people painted, that you see on Access Hollywood. But, like I say, man, I started out when I first got to Hollywood, I was like trying to, I transferred out here to school and I was trying to be an actor or a model or anything that can get me in the door. And it wasn't until, I was heavy. My brother told me, he said, when you get to LA, get into personal training. He said, because personal training is something that allows you to meet multiple different people. And when I did that, around when I was out here about maybe a couple of years, I did my first short film where I financed it myself. And it was at that point when I did that, I became hooked. I'm like, I don't want to do no acting no more. I don't want to do no modeling no more. All I want to do is write and direct. And then from that day forward, man, it wasn't always easy to get where I am right now. But, that's where it started. That's where the journey began. And the journey began there. But I always advise people that thing you want in life, it don't come easy. It takes you got to weather the storms. You got to weather the storms and weathering the storm don't always mean I went through all this, but yet I'm still writing, or I'm still directing, I'm still doing, but it means like constantly growing. You gotta evolve.
I love
You
that. I
gotta
love that.
evolve, because evolution is what it's all about, man. You can't be the same person that you were 10 years ago or 5 years ago. And me personally, it's just about, I stuck with it, and I think I verbally quit a million times, but I never
Yeah.
internally quit. I never internally, I kept evolving, and I had that breakthrough. That like they say, you keep going, you finally reach that door on the other side. So I, so many years, finally reached that door on the other side.
I started laughing a little bit when you said verbally quit. I don't know how many times in my head during the day those little thoughts pop into your head, but you gotta just say, no, that's not true. That's not my true identity. I know what God placed me on this planet to do. I gotta keep persevering through, keep that self-discipline in place, and stay focused on my objective of that goal. And thank you so much for that leap of faith. I know you said you took action moving to LA, started in different avenues, modeling, acting, but that short film, what was the name of your short film that really
Contrast,
captivated you?
contrast.
Contrast.
And the thing about it though, man, it's like it feel the thing that I had to constantly remind myself early on, and even my older brother reminded me this. When you think about going back home, you got to remember going back to what? It's a reason why you want to leave in the first place. But you know what I'm saying? It's the reason why you want to leave, but you got to also realize, like, what are you going back to? And that was my whole thing, is like, so you got to stick out the journey. You got to stick it out. And things ain't going to be hard always. You just got to like grow and constantly just get better, because when you're in this business, it's just like doing film. Once you get to that stage where you realize when you do a film, you got many different stages. When I first started doing film and I was working at the gym, almost like the people that was your audience was the people that was around you. You know what I'm saying? The people that was around you at the
I like
gym
that.
and everybody. So, I mean, it wasn't the greatest film, but you got the appreciation of the people that was around you. But then you get to that final stage. The final stage is to be able to do film where it ain't for your mama, your cousins. It's got to be for the studios. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be for the person that's writing the check to buy it from you. They the ones that decide how good the film is and if it's great, and if it's, because at the end of the day, if you putting $1 million, 5 million, whatever into a film, nobody want to lose their money. So somebody got to be there to buy the film from you.
Yeah, and they want to see you succeed too.
Exactly.
There's so many times where we can look at everybody want to see us fail, but they invest in that money. They want to
It's
see
all about evolution, and evolution is about graduating to that point where that's what you do film for. That's what you write for. And at this point right now, I care about the bottom line. When you do stuff, it's like, okay, the film got to be sold before we do it. The film have to be, but so, I mean, it's just like I done got to that place where I understand how to do these films and what it takes and to package them and do all that stuff. It's just, you've been doing it for a long time. But that's the growth.
Yeah, thank you so much, LazRael, for diving deeper into your story, things that you're passionate about. I love that you got to that contrast short film and then you knew it clicked. It was placed on your heart. Hey, this is what I got to get into. And then I know that evolved into Summer House Pictures, if you will. Now, when you hear Summer House Pictures, LazRael, what does that mean to you when you hear that?
Summer House Pictures, like, when I met my wife, and she was always talking about that, because we had a summer house, you know what I'm saying? And it was a place to get away. It was a place to relax. You still have that house. And as you know, it's by a pond, you know what I'm saying? It's just when I think of summer house, it's like a vacation, you know, and a way to get away mentally. And it was just something that was like heavy on my heart when we first started discussing the names to the new company. And it's just like an escape, but yet a creative escape, you know, when you think of going to a summer house or something like that, you think about it. I just always imagine like a summer house, like a log cabin or something, you know,
Yeah, a place of peace where you
a
can
place of peace
rejuvenate.
where the creativity is like an overflow, you know?
I like that.
So that's what a whole summer house is, unlimited creativity.
Unlimited creativity. I love that. I know somebody who's listening right now, you are truly embracing how you can be creative, how to take action based off of some of these principles that's been laid out already, these gems. And this podcast is built on providing tips and techniques for young men as they strive to grow towards personal development and leadership. What advice do you got for a young man right now that's looking to get into where you are right now? They see you, they see you are a giant in this industry, and they're like, I just want to get started. So what principle do you have in mind, LazRael, for that young man that just want to get started towards getting into the film industry, getting into that creative mindset? Do you have any advice on that end?
I always say, like, what are you doing now? Like the journey to being successful don't start with buying a plane ticket or jumping on the bus coming to LA. If you want to be a writer, you should be writing now. If you want to be an actor and you're in a small town, you can be acting now. You know what I'm saying? Don't wait till you get here to do it. Because if you wait till you get to LA to start, you already leaps and bounds behind. The journey to being great, like I think I wrote every day before I got to LA, probably about 10 straight years. That's all I knew. That's all I wanted to do was create. So it starts with like, man, you mean, because a lot of these places got local theaters, they got churches, you know, all this stuff where you can be honing your craft, you can be getting better and better and things like that. And then it also allows you to be able to build your resume. Because honestly, when you first get out here, people want to see what you've done. People want to see, because you got to think about it, man. It's hundreds of thousands of people come to this city every year trying to do the same thing. And everybody, and I know we hear stories about, oh, this person came out here and they just blew up overnight. That was one out of 100,000, you know? And sometimes, and I remember people told me that when I first got here, this guy told me, he said, you got to give yourself 5 years. I'm like, what? 5 years? No way.
Yeah, that's a long time. Yeah.
But you feel like that's a long time, but it ain't a long time when you constantly moving in the process.
Right.
Like I had my breakthrough, and if you look at the years, it took a long time, but I was constantly moving throughout the process. So it didn't feel like it was a long time. And I just tell people, man, you know, you have to start now. It don't start with you coming to LA and all this stuff. You got to start with just growing. When you get that opportunity, you got to be ready for that opportunity.
Yes, that preparation is so key.
That preparation is so key, man, because otherwise it's like, it's a different level, man. It's a different level when you're trying to do, you got to get that experience. And imagine if you in junior high school and all of a sudden you get an NBA tryout. You ain't there yet. You ain't mentally there yet. No matter how much you feel like you are, you ain't there yet. You gotta just keep getting better and better. And then in this business, like if I sit down and told a person, like, okay, your film need to be at this level, that level for it to go out here and make millions, they would feel like they film is at that level because they hadn't evolved to the point of knowing what the marketplace need, because I wasn't there. I wasn't there when I first started, but it's the evolution of constantly growing, constantly putting in work, constantly like knowing your audience. And they got outlets out here that you can put your film on. But my number one thing is like to take it to that next level, it has to be constant growth and starting now where you're at. You don't need to be out here in this city. You don't need to be in Atlanta to start the process. You can start the process in Kansas, in a small town of Kansas with 4,000 people or 300 people. Man, honestly, when you think about some of the biggest musicians that we know of, they probably was performing in front of a church of 20 people. That's your first audience.
Right. Mm-hmm. And it's how you show up with the smallest audience is going to dictate how grander your audience is going to get. It's
absolutely.
For instance, like as a speaker, I'm gonna give 110% in front of 5 people versus 500, if you will. Mm-hmm. Like all that matters. And I love what you shared. You got to start now. It's one of my favorite quotes is about John Wooden. He says, when opportunity comes, it's too late to prepare. So I feel like that resonates with what you're sharing with the audience is, hey, you can have this grand vision, this grand dream, but put in the work now, put in the hours, the minutes, the seconds right now. And all of that is going to prepare you when you're going to be ready when that opportunity comes. And it brings me to this, because I know you looking from your point of view, I'm sure you experienced this. And I know I got some parents, some teachers, some coaches listening to us right now. And they potentially have that kid in front of them, their son, their daughter, they have their cousins, their nieces, nephews, and they are inspired to go into an acting career or a film career. And like you were saying before, it takes risk. You gotta put in the time. You're not gonna have that microwave instant gratification right then and there. You're gonna have to make that oven meal when it comes to really flourishing in your business, in the industry that you're in right now. But maybe that parent teacher, they're telling that kid, hey, there's not a lot of stability in that world. Is there any advice that you can give or some encouragement for that parent, teacher, coach, again, thinking about that young man that really has an inspiration to go into that business, but that they're a little afraid to let their kid branch out like that?
And all of it is true. Every giving some kid advice like that, that's true. I mean, people told me the same thing. People told me when I came, they said, I remember playing football. They told me, they said, when they knew about the football thing, they said, God is with you. God is with you. But then when I told them, the same people, when I told them I wanted to go into entertainment, have you prayed about that? You know what I'm saying? So it's a very scary business that takes a little bit longer sometimes, but for every person that have failed, you can also look at all the people that have made it. You know what I'm saying? So, and everybody got the same story. So yeah, so the stability aspect, I get that, but I always say this right here, you got to do what makes you happy. In that sense, people place their own fears on you. Just because how can somebody, they say it's no stability in entertainment, but it's stability in you working at the meat factory. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Or stability for you working over here at this, but that may not make you happy. So you got to go on your own journey to figure out what works for you. But when you get into entertainment, it can't be for the fame. It's got to be for the love of it. Because I know a lot of people that.
Whoa, hold on! I got to stop you real quick, LazRael. Please, can you just repeat that one more time? Somebody need to Need to hear that. That was deep what you just said. Can you
Yeah, it's got to be for the love of it, not for the fame, because the fame will come. That just all of a sudden, that's just like an addition to your success, and fame will come. But I know a few people that got into the reality TV stuff because they wanted the fame, and that fizzled out just as quick as it began. So when you think about this business, you have to like, if you don't go into it for the love of it, that you eat and sleep and breathe it, then you're gonna fizzle out pretty fast. You ain't gonna last that long because the struggle gonna weed you out. But the love of it is what's gonna make you stay up and get better. Stay up and do this. I knew this one girl, she was so talented. She was an actress. And every time I saw her in the gym, she was always reading little plays and everything. Like while everybody else watching the news, she up there reading plays. And she became so successful. Because that's what she wanted. That's what she liked. That's what she dreamed about. That was her passion. She wasn't distracted by all this other mess that's going on. And I just think with people, you gotta do what makes you happy. But yet, parents are right. It ain't no stability. But when you love something, the stability soon comes because there's so many. I mean, it ain't like people just all of a sudden when they become actors, they just giving up their day job. They still out here doing so many things to get by. And it's so many opportunities out here, but you have to love it, man. That's why I tell people you have to love it. I've loved every aspect of this journey, every aspect of creating in the entertainment business. And I dreamed about it. I wanted, I kept grinding, kept doing what I needed to do. And it wasn't just about the fame. It was about the love of it. And that's the reason why I endured.
Wow, that's so deep. And that's a huge application point there is understanding you have to do something for the love of it, not the fame. Whoever's listening right now, hopefully you wrote that down. If you didn't, go ahead and pause it, rewind this bad boy back and listen to what LazRael Lison just shared. Because I feel like that's just across the board, even outside of the entertainment. Whether you want to be a lawyer, doctor, you want to be an entrepreneur.
And I say this too.
You have to love it.
And I say this too. If people can so easily talk you out of your dream, it never was your dream.
Wow.
It never was your dream.
Wow.
Think about it. Never was your dream if somebody can talk you out of it.
Wow. That's so true. Man, dropping gems. Now, I know there's somebody's listening right now. They're like, I want to get more in front of what LazRael is talking about. I might even want to seek you for some wisdom on how to, to make their dreams a reality. Can you share your contact information with the audience, LazRael? And also, if you can, share some things that you got going on moving forward from this episode in 2022, moving into the future. Let us know how we could be praying for you, lifting you up, encouraging.
We actually have I'm sure you'd be hitting me back on this. We actually have another big movie that's about to come out.
Congratulations.
For the holiday season this year. So you'll be hearing about that pretty soon. It'll be everywhere. It's a lot of really, really big names in it that people love, and it's about to really be very big upon this holiday season. I think it comes out everywhere in November, but you start hearing a lot of, we just can't say much right now because the network.
Oh, I was going to ask for the sneak peek, man.
Oh yeah, the network say, but it's a lot of a big, great cast that everybody know of, but we just can't say nothing because PR actually starts next month and they want to be to officially make the announcement. But that comes out this holiday season, so it'll be on the regular TV, everything, man. So that's a big one that's coming out. I mean, if you've been following my social media, it's little hints in there on it. It's a holiday movie, and I just can't personally say contractor, can't personally say too much, but you could definitely see the cast that's involved in it and all of that. So, and I guess it's okay if I say the cast, like LaToya Luckett.
Oh wow, that's enough said right there. I know I'm in there.
Romeo
she's awesome.
Miller, Keith David, Demetrius Shipp Jr., who played Tupac, and
Yeah.
All on Me. So it's a great cast, man, a great film. And then people, man, they can reach me on social media on the LazRael Lison. That's L-A-Z as in zebra, R-A-E-L, last name Lison. Then they can also find the same name on Instagram, and it ain't hard to find people nowadays.
Yeah, that's so true, so true. And last but not least, any other words of encouragement for the audience as they're striving to understand that they are gifted differently to make a difference in the world? Anything comes to mind?
And I just say, never let people place their limitations on you, but at the same time, don't be so quick to say people hating on you if they being honest with you. You need to be willing to grow, and you need to be willing to like put in the work too, you know? And that's why I say, and then whatever you want to do, just do it. Just don't let other people so easily discourage your dream if that's your dream. Because everybody ain't gonna be behind your dream. Everybody ain't gonna tell you that you could do it. Oftentimes we have to go do it, then people believe.
That's so true.
And so you know, it's just the way it is, man. But I just say, tell people just keep going, man, and keep telling great stories. And I'm a fan of the hustle. I'm a fan of people that never quit despite all the obstacles.
Dude, brilliantly said. Thank you so much once again, LazRael, for blessing the GNG audience with your time, your effort, your presence. I love your vision. I love your mindset. I love the standard that you're setting. I love the focus that you have in your craft and how you're serving it to the world in a harmonious and loving way. I'm looking forward to that movie coming out this upcoming fall season, holiday season, and sky's the limit for you.
Thank you.
So much more left for you to do because you still got breath left in your body, and just know GNG supporting everything that you're doing. So once again, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go ahead and lead us out, brother. Hey, I told each and every one of you this is going to be an amazing, amazing episode. Please drop in the comments whether you're looking at this on YouTube, one of the podcast platforms. Let us know what application point that you're going to take and implement into your lifestyle. I'll go ahead and share one that I'm going to continue to take into mine, is knowing that I need to truly love what I'm doing and not necessarily the fame. Understand that it's important to love. So I want you guys to take that daily challenge. Find something that you love. Find something that is not about the money. It's not about the flash. It's not about the likes on social media. You just love serving in your area of gifting. And please let me and LazRael know how we can help make that a reality. So, and also share this out. Share this out to your audience, to someone that's going to be able to resonate with this amazing episode. Hey, your support really, really helps us. And as you support us, we in tune want to support you. But I want you to stay up with GNG. More episodes coming soon. I want you to continue to do these two things for me. Keep that crown on your heart. And please remember this. We are God's echo. I love each and every one of you. Peace.
Thank you for listening to GNG Podcast. Remember, you are gifted differently to make a difference. Please visit chazjacksonspeaks.org and let's continue to grow together. God bless.